Hope you guys are doing good. Hope you guys can hear me. Child, it is a lot going on today. Hey, Cynthia, leaving work. It's a lot going on.
Hi, cutie.
Hey, it's a lot to talk about. It is crazy. So first, let me say this before we get started. There's going to be a schedule implemented on the Discord for like the Zoom meetings and all that stuff. I made an announcement the other day, so that is coming. But if I do need to do impromptu Zooms like I am doing today, I'll definitely do them. And if you're available, come. If not, that's okay. But we'll definitely have the scheduled ones up next week. We also will be possibly adding a few new mods as well. Do not email me or send me messages asking to be a mod. We already have a few people in mind. So just keep an eye out for that. If I reach out to you, let me know if you're interested. If you're not, that's more than okay, because I understand people have a life outside of the Discord. So it's a lot of stuff going on right now. We did the green room. We got to talk to a lot of our international tea sippers, and it's almost frightening what is going on overseas, in the islands and Australia. And then I get done editing and we're sitting here setting up the theater guys here. It's a lot of stuff going on in the house. And so I'm like, okay, fine. Joe Biden's announcement is finally out. I jump on Twitter and all I'm seeing is I will not comply. People freaking out, people going off. And I'm like, what the hell did Joe Biden do and say now? It's gotten real. I'm going to read to you guys just some of the information that's out, and I'll play a video. But he basically stated today in this article from CBS, it says, Mr. Biden noted that many large companies already require vaccinations. The bottom line, we're going to protect vaccinated workers from unvaccinated workers. So again, the rot starts at the top. The rot is starting. He's the one helping to create this divide even more. So unvaccinated worker versus vaccinated worker. But I thought we were all human beings and we were all one America and not the divided states, okay, of America. So now on top of that, they want to say, he says, the Department of Labor and Safety is developing a rule requiring all employers with at least 100 employees to make sure that their workforce is fully vaccinated, or require unvaccinated workers to get a negative test at least once a week. OSHA will issue an emergency temporary standard to introduce the vaccine requirement. Companies that fail to comply could face fines of upwards of $14,000 per violation. So if you are a small business, you have 100 people working for you, and 100% of them don't want to wear masks, or they're not fully vaccinated, not masked, but fully vaccinated, you will get charged per violation. So, I mean, $14,000 per person. So this is like just really unnerving. So I'm going to go ahead and play you guys the video of him talking. It's like a 29-minute video. We're not going to listen to him talk and stumble through it. I found somebody who uploaded a shorter version because I'm not listening to 29 minutes. I'll read it, I won't listen. So give me just a second here to share my screen. So this is what he is saying.
Contagious Delta variant that I began to warn America about back in July spread late summer like it did in other countries before us. While the vaccines provide strong protection for the vaccinated, we read about and hear about and we see the stories of hospitalized people on their deathbeds among the unvaccinated over the past few weeks. This is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. And it's caused by the fact that despite America having unprecedented and successful vaccination program, despite the fact that for almost 5 months, free vaccines have been available in 80,000 different locations, we still have nearly 80 million Americans who have failed to get the shot. And to make matters worse, there are elected officials actively working to undermine the fight against COVID-19. Instead of encouraging people to get vaccinated and mask up, They're ordering mobile morgues for the unvaccinated dying from COVID in their communities. This is totally unacceptable. The unvaccinated overcrowd our hospitals, are overrunning emergency rooms and intensive care units, leaving no room for someone with a heart attack or pancreatitis or cancer. And a distinct minority of Americans, supported by a distinct minority of elected officials, are keeping us from turning the corner. These pandemic politics, as I refer to, are making people sick, causing unvaccinated people to die. We cannot allow these actions to stand in the way of protecting the large majority of Americans who have done their part, who want to get back to life as normal. This is not about freedom or personal choice. It's about protecting yourself and those around you, the people you work with, the people you care about, the people you love. My job as president is to protect all Americans. So tonight, I'm announcing that the Department of Labor is developing an emergency rule to require all employers with 100 or more employees that together employ over 80 million workers to ensure their workforces are fully vaccinated or show a negative test at least once a week. Some of the biggest companies are already requiring this. The bottom line, we're going to protect vaccinated workers from unvaccinated coworkers. We're going to reduce the spread of COVID-19 by increasing the share of the workforce that is vaccinated in businesses all across America. I will sign an executive order that will now require all executive branch federal employees to be vaccinated, all. I've signed another executive order that will require federal contractors to do the same. If you want to work with the federal government and do business with us, get vaccinated. If you want to do business with the federal government, vaccinate your workforce. And tonight, I'm removing one of the last remaining obstacles that make it difficult for you to get vaccinated. The Department of Labor will require employers with 100 or more workers to give those workers paid time off to get vaccinated. No one should lose pay in order to get vaccinated or take a loved one to get vaccinated.
I don't even know what to say. Y'all can talk, because I'm just, I don't know what to say. I think it's really starting to stress me out. I don't know, it's just scary. Talked to my brother today, and we were the only two, the last two in the family not vaccinated, and they made him get vaccinated, and he's like super worried, and you know, he's real upset, but they're like, he had to do it. He was the only, you know, he works with the school system, so they're like, everybody has to get it done, or else he'd be fired. So it's not a choice. It's not a choice. They're forcing people. And so like now I'm like the only person, and I have to like hear all this stuff from my family, like you need to go get it. But it's like I don't really work for anybody. So for me, it's not mandatory. I sit in my house, but I feel so bad because it's not a choice for so many people. And I know for some people, it's like, it's not a big deal, it's just a vaccine, but you don't know that. And I don't understand like why this is being forced. Like this is like, the way he was saying it, like, get vaxxed, like that is just creepy to me. It's like, you're not my parent. Like, I thought, you know, when it comes to things like abortion, it's my body, my choice. But when it comes to this, nobody sees how this is wrong in any way, shape, or form, that people are being, they're even telling people that if you choose not to get vaccinated and then you get fired, you're not eligible for unemployment. So people can't even fall back on unemployment. It's that bad that people are being forced to like literally pick. And then the fact that they keep making this divide of the unvaccinated versus the vaccinated, like we're all people at the end of the day. This is just really frightening. It's really scary. And it's starting to make me think like, what's going to happen if I have to have surgery and they tell me I have to be vaccinated in order to get my surgery coming up? Because they could very much say that. And at that point, I don't know. I'm gonna just have to deal with the pain. I just don't trust it at this point. I don't trust it. You know, my doctor hasn't said that, but they could very much implement it, you know, and there's nothing I can do about it. So I don't know, but y'all can talk. I'm just gonna sit here and listen. Um, Let me go ahead and bring on, I think I saw Tay Tay first. Tay Tay, go ahead and unmute your microphone.
Hey y'all, how are you? Hey
Hey,
T.
hey,
Hey,
sorry
don't
I'm crying.
girl, I
And-
cried with you. I cried with you. Like I work for my God. I work for the government and I'm like, I'm pissed. I'm just like I feel forced to do something that I don't want to do. And it's like, I'm still and the thing is, I've been dealing with my mother, going back and forth in the hospital with her, making sure she's okay. I've been trying to keep myself positive, but this has really pissed me off. Like first they mandated the military to have it, and now they want federal workers to have it. And I'm just like, I have a certain condition, polycystic ovarian syndrome, and I'm like, how is that going to affect me, with this vaccine, with my hormones, my mother, she's on medication. How does that affect her? She takes a lot of meds for her. She has hyperthyroidism and she has other diseases. And I'm just like, they haven't really given us the information. You talk to doctors, it's like they're pushing this. And I just feel like it's stressful now. It's stressful
Yeah.
because I just I don't know. I'm just stressed about it and like sad because it's just what am I going to do?
Mm-hmm.
I can't just quit because it's like, okay, well, how do I get another job? And then I don't want to end up in a situation where I try to go another job. And it's like, oh, you need the vaccine.
Right. Because it's
And it's
getting to
just
the point, like, even if you quit, they're like mandating this literally with a lot of jobs. They just said if you have over 100 employees, think about how many people work for Subway, Target, Walmart. So soon, you know, my son will have to because he works at a place where they have more than 100 employees. Like, this is just really disturbing, really disturbing.
and I don't know. I don't want to, be all day on because I know more people want to talk, but I'm just trying to hang in there. I'm just trying to see, I'm just gonna have to pray about it. I'm just gonna have to pray about it at this point.
Definitely. Well, thank you for calling in, Tay Tay. I appreciate it.
You too. Thank you, T.
All right, bye.
Bye.
All right, let me go ahead and bring on Kay Renee. Kay, go ahead and unmute your microphone.
Hey T, it's been a while.
I know. How have you
I haven't
been?
been on Zoom in a year? It's been a year since we've been on here, but I know everyone's telling you not to cry, but I just want to tell everyone, please do. We got to get it out somehow. You know what I'm saying? Like we have to cry. We can't keep it in. You know what I'm saying? It's too much going on right now to keep in our tears. We gotta cry, we gotta let it out, we gotta vent, we gotta do something. T, I love you so much, and I just want you to know that you are truly a godsend. You are truly God's child, and you brought us all together, from different denominations and religions and creeds and sexualities, you know what I'm saying, to all come in a common place, you know what I'm saying, vaccinated and unvaccinated now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you're truly a godsend to bring light to all of us in this hard time. It's gonna get harder, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if this was brought up, it's been a while, me being on here, but you know, I don't know if anyone's heard of like the World Economic Forum and their agenda for 2030.
Mhm. Oh, nothing and be
So
happy.
yeah, own nothing and be happy. If y'all look up the World Economic Forum, um, the sustainable goals, that's what they're called.
Mhm.
They're pushing a whole lot. So they're pushing, we're stressed out, we're divided. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna be begging for safety. And I don't know if a lot of you believe in the New World Order, but it's coming and we can see it. And that's why we're so scared, because this is different than what we're used to. You know what I'm saying? And I know everyone's begging for normalcy, but it
I
it
don't
really
think it's ever
go
gonna
back.
be normal again.
Nothing is going back to normal, because by 2030, I'm not making this up, y'all. Look it up. By 2030, they are going to try to have all of this implemented. Life underwater, owning nothing, or what's that called when everybody has like the same income?
Universal basic income.
Right. Universal
Mhm.
basic income. So it's 17 of them. So they're gonna implement it. And I know it's scary, y'all. I know it's scary, but I just really need y'all to lean more on the spiritual side of things. You know what I'm saying? We are fighting stuff that we cannot see right now. You know what I'm saying? It's not just Biden and his demented ass. You know what I'm saying? It's more than we can't see. So we just really need to pray, get on our knees and pray. You know what I'm saying? For peace. For, not from them, not from the government, because they'll give it to us. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be asking for safety. You know what I'm saying? Because we're tired. We're just tired. Everybody's tired. So I just need everybody to pray and just try to find a reason to smile. I know people got kids. I know people love their families. You know what I'm saying? So just try to, I'm about to start crying now. Just try to um lean on those things and just know what we still have, because it's not going to get no better anytime soon. And that's just the truth. I'm not trying to scare nobody, but it's only going to get crazier from here. So we have to find that peace within ourselves. Um, at, so I love you so much, T. It's good
I love
here.
you too. Thank
And
you.
I love all of you guys, and just stay hopeful, stay prayerful. And it's the enemy not going to win. He can't win. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to win. He's just trying to do everything he can to break people down. And we just got to stay headstrong.
Definitely. Thank you so much for calling in, Kay. I appreciate you. So let me go ahead and bring on Elfin. Now you, Elfin, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Good evening. Can you
Hey,
hear me?
yes, we
Hey,
can.
right here. Yes, we all are going to have to find peace upon our broken pieces, because as of now, I feel in my heart, I'm always talking about the people with disabilities, always, because I'm a person with disability. And I'm always thinking about, well, what are they going to do? Are you going to take away their SSA, SSI if they choose not to get the vaccine, or their persons, are you going to take away their essence, their way of life? I'm always going back to that, because we are their voice of reason. We have to think about how we as individuals treat others. We're like you're saying earlier, T, where it's so divisive. It's just, why take away someone's home because you're not going to get the vaccine? It's frustrating. I am exhausted too. And there's one gentleman I know, he can't take the vaccine. Can you still hear me? He
Yeah, we
can't
can.
take he can't take it. He literally said, I cannot take the vaccine. He had throat cancer. He can't take it. So what did it do? Make him take it?
Yeah.
It's, and we all have to remember, I don't know. I'm like everybody else. He says, I can't take the vaccine due to my low white blood count. I think those who cannot take are being prosecuted unjustly. If I can't take it, I would weigh my options before I take it. I'm like, wow. Yeah, he had, and my mother's in a nursing home. They're under lockdown for 28 days.
Hmm.
Someone got the COVID. And I'm like, I can't go see you. She goes, no. She goes, yeah, you can see me wheel my butt out front, have a cigarette with you, and just look at you and leave. You can leave, because she doesn't like to be made to do things. She's always been independent, and our independence is being taken. Everything we know now is being taken. We're not going back to normal, people. We're just not.
And
And
they're
for the
trying to make it seem like we will once everyone is vaccinated, but that's not the truth. It's not going to go back to normal, because it's not normal to walk into a grocery store and have to show them your
yes,
passport, your name and address, and it's not normal to have to do that at every single stop that you go to. This is like we're living in a movie.
correct.
I keep thinking about every single movie that talked about the end of the world and all this predictive programming, and that is what I feel like I'm living in. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And the way he said it was just so cold and callous, and it's just like, you understand, those unvaccinated people, they're spreading, and it's like
Right.
last year we were all unvaccinated. Where did this
'Cause
elitist attitude come from?
Because remember, the first sister, she said that her mama or somebody in her family has hyperthyroidism. My mother does too. She can't go to the hospital to get the necessary things she needs to get well. And I'm scared. I said, are you going to die? She goes, we're all going to die, baby. But I probably, hopefully will not, but die sooner, because now it's pressing up against her where she can't breathe. And I am just, oh God, I'm about ready to cry myself. I am just scared. It's my mama. I'm like, wow. So she's stuck there, can't get the necessary things she needs. I don't know what to do. I'm like, Rebecca, what do we do? I guess we just need to sit back and watch everybody else implode. I don't know. The state's done the same thing. DSHS, DDA here in Washington, they're making everybody get the vaccine. My boss just called me today talking about, where's your vaccine card? I'm like, okay, you're doing that now. He goes, yeah. Oh, wow. See? It's a mess.
Well,
And with that, I guess so.
Calling in. I appreciate it.
Yes, and remember, for all the impasse, stay centered and stay centered. All right. Talk to you later.
All right. Thank you.
Love you.
Sis. Love you too. Bye. Let me go ahead and bring on Hugs, Smiles and Hugs. Sorry. Smiles and Hugs. Reed, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. How are you?
I am good, T. Hi, everybody. I can't even say, hope everybody's doing good, because I mean that, but I feel so shaky in my chest. I don't feel good. Ever since we started this conversation, I feel sick.
That's how I felt when I was watching it. I just feel physically ill.
I feel physically ill right now. And I'm feeling shaky inside. I don't know. I really felt when he was talking, it was unnerving. His tone was very scary. I don't know if y'all picked it up or felt it, but there was an energy to that message that was very unnerving to me. It wasn't just the words, it was the energy in the delivery.
Yeah.
And I felt it. There's something very spiritual about all of this that's going on right now. And if you're an empath, man, as the other previous callers had said, we all need to pray, but if you're an empath, it's even worse. You know what I'm talking about if you are. Like I said, I sorry if I sound shaky, because I am literally shaking.
It just felt like when he was talking, it was very pointing and very accusatory and very dark. And that's usually not the attitude that he has. Like, it almost made me feel like, how like in scary movies or like when we all watched the Skeleton Key, right? If you guys remember
Mhm.
that, remember how we all thought the dude that was trying to get with old girl, like he was the good guy and the young lawyer, and then you find out that he's really this evil guy and he was plotting
Mhm.
against her. That's how I felt watching him. Almost
Yes.
like he took off his mask. He was no longer
Yes.
Grandpa
Yes.
I'm like, damn, you're sounding just as harsh and mean as like a Trump. Because at least
Yes.
Trump put it all out there. We've never seen Joe Biden come off like that. That just, I don't know, that just is very overwhelming.
It was almost like another persona. Like I've never seen this side of him before publicly anyways. I don't know what he's like behind closed doors, but it was almost like he wasn't even trying to hide it. It's like, this is the message, this is what it is. Take it or don't. I don't care. It is what it is. And you could hear him, you could feel him with that one. It's just like, I don't care. It is
Yeah,
what
you
it is.
notice he wasn't stuttering and you know how usually when he talks, he's just always all over the place. And
Mhm.
with
It was
this,
very direct.
this was the most clearest I've ever heard old Joe.
No, Joe.
Clear.
Mhm.
Usually he just sounds senile and confused. You ask him about what happened in Afghanistan. Yo, man, that was 4 days ago. And he's running into the wall.
Mm-mm.
So at
This
point,
was straight shooting Joe today.
Yeah,
This was straight shooting Joe.
Yeah, I feel like he's playing a crazy persona when it comes to other shit. But with this, we got the straight shooter persona. So with
Yes.
so with a real Joe, please stand up.
Yes. Yes. This was straight shooting Joe. Like as you said, like the mask came off. I don't know if behind closed doors, this persona is known to others, but not to the public. And I just felt like, who is this guy? And why are you talking to us like that? Like, why are you talking to, I mean, I'm in Canada, but at the same time, we have some funky stuff going on over too. I don't know if anybody in the chat is from Canada, from Toronto, but you know what I'm talking about. Trudeau, baby Castro.
Oh yeah.
There's some stuff going on over here too.
Mhm.
I was having a conversation with a coworker yesterday. I'm going to try and quicken it up so that everybody else can get to talk. But I'm in healthcare, if y'all remember me and everything. And this young man was literally shaking and almost on the verge of tears talking to me yesterday about having to get the vaccine. He's not vaccinated yet and he didn't want to. But now that they're making it so uncomfortable for people, they're trying to pretend like they're not forcing us to do it, but they are low key, right? They're putting our hands behind our backs and wringing it. And he works in another hospital on top of where we work at a long-term care place. And he can't go back to the hospital until he gets vaccinated. They won't let him. And then my place now is only offering him 4 shifts per fortnight. So he's like, my money's funny. I can't live like this. So I'm going to be forced to get the vaccine, but he has underlying health issues. So this poor boy is just literally nervous, on the verge of crying. I could feel his spirit. He felt so bad. Like, I don't want to get this vaccine. They're forcing me. His words were like, they're going against my human rights. Like, it's my right to choose not to get this. My health ain't good. I don't know if I get this vaccine if I'm going to be better or worse.
Right.
But I need to live. I need to pay my bills, and I don't have any money now at this point. They're forcing me to get it. And I felt him yesterday. I've been thinking about him all day. And then you came up with this meeting, and I'm like, this just coincides with what's been on my mind. So everybody just, try to pray. And I'm really glad that you're having this meeting, because at least we can get this all out and kind of congregate about this. So everybody have a good evening. T,
Thank you.
I understand what you're feeling too with, with your health issues and getting vaccinated. You just do what's best for you. It's a personal decision and only you can make it. Okay, so everybody have a good night. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for calling in, sis. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad that we were all able to like kind of watch that together. Because yeah, that was heavy. That was heavy. Let me go ahead and bring on Queen C. Queen C, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hi T.
Hey, how are you, sis?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay.
So yeah, watching that was like weird because it's like he's like, oh, get the vaccine or else. And it's just like, well, some people don't want to, and I feel like he's ostracizing the unvaccinated. And I don't think that's fair. I think it's really scary because it makes it seem like, oh, people, the unvaccinated or whatever, they're the issue when it's not. Every other day, it's like 4 different variants coming out. So it's like, I can't keep track anymore.
Mhm.
And my boyfriend, his job, they're telling him he has to get the vaccine. All of his coworkers have to get the vaccine. They have to sign a paper. I don't know what happens if they don't, but it's scary because, like everyone said, not a lot of people want the vaccine or need the vaccine at this point. I think it's just like they want a vaccine that isn't even 100%. You want people to get the vaccine, but for what? Because if they get the vaccine and they die, you guys aren't reporting on that. You guys are only reporting on the unvaccinated. So it's like, we don't know where the numbers are. We don't know really like what's going on. And I don't think that's fair to people who are unvaccinated. I don't want to see you cry. T, you're too beautiful for that. This is just so like scary. Like, I don't know what to do because I'm just tired of all the fear mongering and all the blaming other people when it's not our fault. We didn't come up with this shit. I feel like even I don't even know where it originally came from.
Yeah,
So
they didn't even have this much vitriol last year for China.
yeah, it's like
Literally everything started over there. You couldn't even say anything bad about China or the Chinese government. It was just, but now people can just talk down to unvaccinated people, say that they wish unvaccinated people would die. I mean, just the worst shit that I've seen on social media, the worst things that I'm seeing a lot of these celebrities pushing. Unvaccinated people don't deserve ICU beds. They're taken away from heart attack patients. How dare you? Most of the people who are in the hospital right now are vaccinated, but they're not reporting on that.
exactly.
It's crazy.
It is. And I don't know. It's just, like I said, it's not fair to like anybody who doesn't want to get it. Even people who have it, it's just like, okay, you guys are pushing this so hard. Y'all didn't push this for the flu. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is the COVID that you guys are pushing it so hard for people to have to get it? And it's just like, I feel like at a certain point, like you said, down the line, it's either you're going to get it or else, or you can't go nowhere, you can't do things. And it sucks that soon you're going to have to show a passport. Like, why do I have to show my health records to a stranger to make them feel better? You know what I mean? So I just think that this is crazy. And I just, like everyone said, just stay prayed up and stay hopeful. I'm glad that this Zoom exists so that we're able to talk freely about it. So that's all I wanted to say. I won't take up any more time. Thank you for
Okay.
letting me speak.
Definitely. Thank you for calling and I appreciate it.
No problem. Have a good day, everybody.
You too. So let me go ahead and bring on Jay Vicky. Jay Vicky, go ahead and unmute your mic. We can't hear you. You sound far away.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. So I just wanted to say that I feel like this is the dark winter that you was mentioning about that Biden was talking about because everything ends, all of the assistance ends in September. And now you're forcing people to get the vaccine or they're going to be unemployed. So then there's no assistance to back them up,
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
then
he's been saying get ready for a dark winter since last year. And I kept feeling something was going to happen in September. So to hear this, they're saying that what he just passed, this mandate, affects over 100 million Americans. It's a lot of people.
Yes. And I'm a federal worker. And so like, I'm in the same boat like you. I was about to cry when I, read that. And so at first I was like, okay, I'm gonna just have to dust off my resume. But then I'm like, so where am I going to go? Because most businesses have 100+ workers. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, the assistance is ending. We're not going to have other jobs to go to. I feel like it's going to include work from home because work from home is still 100+ workers. So they're like really putting us in a bind, to force us to get this vaccine.
Even some companies, for people who are working from home, even some people, they've been sending me emails showing that their companies are saying, even if you're working from home and you're not in the office, you still have to be vaccinated. There was some man who wrote on my Instagram page yesterday, he ended up quitting the job because they were making him wear a mask in the house. That was part of the requirement. So he's literally doing customer service through a computer in his home, but he has to have on a mask. It's insane.
It's very insane. And then I have a couple more things I want to say is that one, I feel like that this may lead to like a civil war because a lot of people is not going to just take this sitting down. And then also like the hospitals are just like, they're doing the most because my aunt, she sits with a lady and she's like 90 years old. She was like a chemist. She's really smart. Like, she's very witted, and she passed away because she failed. And when my aunt took her to the hospital, they gave her morphine and they overdosed her and she passed away. So it's like, how do you even overdose somebody on morphine? That's just crazy.
Right.
Right. So it's just like a lot going on. And you never know. They probably going to put it under COVID and then it's going to look like another COVID and she didn't even have COVID or anything.
They've been doing that.
But yeah, but that was all I had to say. I'm not going to take up any more time, but we just have to stay strong and really just pray and get in sync with God. I'm on a 21-day fast right now, a Daniel fast, and I just encourage people to just build your faith stronger so that, this doesn't overwhelm you and you can put that burden on the Lord.
Amen. Thank you so much for calling in, sis.
Thank you.
All right, let me go ahead and bring on Radiant Sunshine. Radiant Sunshine, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey T, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Not so much. And I picked the wrong time to join on on a Zoom. I've been like going through a lot of stuff. And
what's going on?
I'm not gonna get into that because I've been like trying not to cry. And looking at this news and reading this stuff that's going on is not helping it. It's just a lot, T. It's a lot. A friend of mine passed a couple of days after I came back off my vacation.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And they didn't find him for 4 days because his sister was in the hospital. So she found him when she came home and he died from a heart attack and they listed him as COVID.
Wow.
And that wasn't the case because he wasn't vaccinated. And it's just a lot of stuff going on. And that whole Joe Biden thing, yeah, I'm not feeling that. But when he was running for office and everybody was against Trump, like I kept telling them, Trump had his stuff out there on the table. He wasn't hiding none of it. And I trust people that show you their hand as opposed to hiding stuff. And just like you said, he was acting like old Sleepy Joe all in the beginning, and all of a sudden he done buttoned up his shirt, straightened up his tie, and coming out here talking this nonsense. And it's ridiculous. I just had a conversation with my mom yesterday because I'm gonna say her nephew, because I don't even call him my cousin, but her nephew is getting married next year in Jamaica, and she want me and my sisters to go. Well, me and my sisters aren't vaccinated. She is. So she's like, well, y'all might as well go ahead and get vaccinated so we can go ahead and have this trip. We're going to go on this trip or whatever. I'm not going on no trip. I'm not getting vaccinated just to go on a trip with you. I would love to go, but I'm not doing that just to go to Jamaica. So, she was like, well, I don't understand why y'all so against it. I said, I don't understand why you were so quick to get it. But that's all I wanted to say. I don't want to stay on here too long because I don't want to have my little meltdown on here with y'all. I love you too, Marky. I miss you. And I need y'all. Talk with y'all later.
Okay, sis. Take care. And thank you for calling in.
Love y'all.
Love you too. Man, everybody's going through it. Like this. Wow. Well, I'm glad at least everybody's going through it here together, with people who genuinely care about people. So let me go ahead and bring on Libra Loves. Libra, go ahead and unmute your microphone.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, what's going on? I just wanted to start this off with Joe has been fishy and he's been on my radar ever since his whole election term came up. It was always just something weird about him. And before, I did my research about who he really was and like the stuff that he said before everybody was like, oh yeah, Team Joe, oh, you're not black if you don't vote for him, all that BS. I'm like, okay, I see through it. But my school actually mandated, I'm in nursing school, that we had to have our first dose by October 15th. And I was just so heartbroken because it's just like, this is something that I never wanted at all. And so my teachers are like, it's fine. After that, you got to get the flu vaccine. And it's just like, my hand was just so forced. And it just went against everything that I was talking about, everything that I even believed in. And it's just like, at this point, I don't even have control over my own body anymore. I don't have control over what I can put in it. And this is just what I want to be. And so my mom's like, what's about time you got it? I'm like, this is something that I never even wanted. So I don't know why you're trying to encourage, like, well, I don't know why you're happy that I even got a dose of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just keep looking at my nephew. He's only 4. And every time I see him, he has a mask on. He's not even in daycare because they always have cases. And so his mom, just keeps him at home and he just doesn't know what the world is at this point. And so my heart just breaks for him because he doesn't even know what it's like to be a child and have friends and have play dates. And so it's just like, I can deal with this, but mentally, I don't even know how he's doing because he doesn't even see his family at this point because of the cases that are rising and everything like that. So I'm just trying to, emotionally, I'm just drained and I feel so weak. And I just I don't feel so strong, even though everybody's like, oh, you need to stay strong, keep your head up. This will pass. Everything will just go back to normal. But it's just like, I don't feel that way. I don't feel like, sorry, just trying to collect my breath. I just don't feel like, I just feel like I just sold myself out once I got the first dose. I just feel like ever since I got that, mentally, I've just been going downhill from there. So I'm trying to stay strong, but it's just kind of hard to when I really don't have the fight to do it sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, nobody should feel guilty about having to take it because again, it's about your livelihood, it's about your survival. It'd be nice if we could survive on just being a good person and treating people with respect. But unfortunately, that's not how the world works. You have to pay your bills. And when people are putting you between a rock and a hard place, you have to do what you have to do. But yeah, nobody who's pushing this whole vaccine mandate, they're not talking about the guilt that some people are feeling and the sadness because they didn't want it. It's a difference when it's something that you're totally gung-ho about and you're pro, the C-19 vaccine. That's different. What about all the people who were hesitant, but like you, like my brother, like others were literally forced and told, if you don't get this, you will not have a job in the next 3 weeks. Imagine the toll that's going to take on people's mental health.
Yeah.
And then now you're talking about potentially a third booster when it was supposed to only be initially one vaccine, 1 dose, second dose. Now we're working on 3. Like I said earlier in the green room, Israel is now working on a 4th booster. So at this point, you're basically letting me know that you're trying to keep people vaccinated for life, a booster a year.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I'm not an anti-vax person. I get your vaccines. Technically, yeah, I've been vaccinated, measles, mumps, polio, whatever. It's just ever since this came out, nah, I don't want that. It's just a little bit too new. Let me do my research. Yo, you're putting my life at risk. You're trying to kill me. I'm like, no, I'm trying to stay alive and I'm trying to learn what's going to go inside me and what's going to stay inside me and replicate. And probably got to get this thing for every 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
And that's all.
Okay, well, thank you so much for calling in. We appreciate you, sis.
Thanks.
Bye. So let me go ahead. We're gonna go to about 8:30. So I'm gonna try and go through as many people as possible. Let me bring on Nova Pink. Nova Pink, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Sorry about that.
That's
So this whole thing with the vaccine, I know it's scary. I'm not vaccinated. My husband's not vaccinated. He's active duty. He's currently deployed, and they could care less about a religious exempt. They're like, it doesn't matter. Come the 90 days, it's either you're vaccinated or you're going to be processed out. Only two options. But what I'm telling him, what I'm telling myself is that we have to have faith. At the end of the day, God is in control. They want us all vaccinated for a reason. I don't blame anybody that's vaccinated. I mean, we all have to do what we have to do, but me with our house payments, our car payments, I'm ready just to let it go. I'm like, you know what, government, if you want us to be vaccinated, it's like God said, I'm willing to give it all up. I'm willing to give it all up and live off the grid. Yes, it's easier said than now, but when it comes down to it, I believe there's a lot more people that are unvaccinated. And currently, right now, a lot of the vaccinated are dying. People are starting to ask questions, and the only thing that they could do is blame us unvaccinated, because that's the only thing that they can rely on right now, is just making us feel guilty for having a spiritual belief or being a critical thinker. The only thing that they could do is just wear us down. If we all stand together, stand firm, and just try to keep each other up, we will get through this. This is madness, but in the end, God is in control. Biden will have his days. All the people that are just saying demonic things will have their days. God, you probably all see my posts where I'm always like, God is in control. It's a scary time, but just know we will get through this, and just don't buy into it. Don't buy into the fear. Just as quickly as this is coming in with the vaccination, once they hit their number, it's going to all disappear. They're not going to have a reason to try to keep people vaccinated. Then the FDA probably will come out saying, you know what, we have a different solution. Let's do this instead. So please, everybody, let's endure. 2020 has been rough, but we could get through this together. T, thank you for just being phenomenal with what you have done for your platform. It's hurting me just to see you and everybody go through this, but yeah, we're all in this together, just to stay strong.
Thank you so much for your words. Thank you for calling in, sis.
You're welcome. Love you all. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye. Let me go ahead and bring on Nublia in the sky. Please go ahead and unmute your microphone.
T, how are you?
I'm hanging in there.
Oh my God. Hey, everybody. Hey, Marquis. Here, let me turn on my mic. Okay. Well, hope everyone's doing well. I know I'm well, not well. I don't know. I try to stay positive for everybody. So I'm just trying to do my best. I mean, we've all heard the news of what happened. And I feel like everyone today, even though it's bad, I felt a unity. I don't know. Does anyone feel like a little unity that's happening, that everyone's like, yo, you know what? Like everyone, I felt like they felt that something, and it's very weird that we're almost near 9/11 too. And I just kind of find it just very weird around the same time it's happening. But I do want to share some news. So I do want to know that I got a religious exemption. So if for anyone, people who want a religion exemption, I'm part of this organization called tpministries.org. I'll put it in the Discord, but basically they're giving out exemption forms, and they're under basically if you're part of if you're a person of color, you're next to the Aboriginal people, you're basically automatically part of the human right. You can go on their website, but basically if you're a person of color, like you're automatically, based on some human rights thing, that you're automatically a an indigenous person, and indigenous people of the world have different laws that could follow, and that United Nations needs to follow them. So I'll post more information on that as well. So just give people hope if they, because I do remember that the woman the redheaded girl, I don't know what her name is, but one of the reporters did ask her that said, hey, are you requiring everyone to get the vaccine? And she said, well, yes, but we also accept religious waivers or something like that. So just an FYI on that. And I think, my dad told me something yesterday that just kind of like changed not my outlook of this whole thing. He told me, my dad, he grew up in he was born 1950s or 60s, I think. But he basically said something that is so true, rang so true to me. And when I saw the news, he said something. He said, this isn't the first time that we've gone through this before. Humanity has gone through multiple things in our lifetimes. And I think remembering what our ancestors have gone through and remembering how we got to this place and how they dealt with arduous times or difficult times, this is the part where we kind of have to start remembering our past to just give us hope for the future. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's really hard because a lot of people are in very different situations, but I just, something to think about. Again, this is what happened. It was definitely something that, I'll be honest, I kind of was expecting it too. But I at least was trying to prepare as much people. And even if you go into the Discord thing, you can see where I could post a lot of exemption forms and stuff like that. People need some. But yeah, just try to stay positive, everybody. If you can, try to sun gaze. Try to see the sun when it's rising and setting. I've been hearing that the sun right now, I'm a very spiritual person, so the sun, what I've been hearing from other metaphysical people and teachers that I follow, they're saying that the sun right now is giving out really positive energy, especially in the times when it's rising and setting. So if you can, try to, do some sun gazing and try to raise, your vibration like that. Try to forget about the world. I do believe a lot of the stuff is a simulation, and they're really trying to get you to believe that this is real. But when you start, even watch The Matrix, y'all. If y'all can't watch The Matrix and how they try to trick Neo into thinking that what his reality was real, but every spiritual person knows that at the end of the day, all of this will come to an end. And being that, I guess maybe that spiritual thing that I've been practicing for so many years I'm realizing more and more that, yeah, this whole thing is a simulation, and that sounds kind of crazy, but it's just, I don't know, I've reached a certain point in my spirituality where I don't know, I view things as a simulation rather than reality. And when you view it in that perspective, I'm not saying that it helps all the way, but it just gives you a different perspective of things, and I think that's what they don't want. They want you to be like, oh my God, this was going to happen. This was going to happen. And it might happen, it might not happen, but having, I forgot who said that, but having some sort of spiritual practice is definitely be very, very helpful during this time. And everyone, I'm sending positive vibes to everybody. I'm so happy that we're all here to share stories. And I know everyone's going through something, but man, the one thing that they can't take from you is the positive in your faith. And that's something that no one can ever take that from any of us. So just think about that. And this is a time where we really have to, I guess, decide what it is that you want to do. And at this point, there is no right or wrong answer right now. So it comes to the point where you have to, I see a marquee, okay. Okay, but just final words, y'all. If y'all can, just one final thing. There's this book that changed my life a lot, and I love her book. The book is called Spiritual Growth by Sonia Roman. And that book, I love that book. If we could have a book club on that book, because that book, okay, I'll give like final 15 seconds. Okay, that book talks about this woman. She channeled this sixth dimensional being called Orin. And Oren, he's from a higher plane of existence. He's from a higher dimension, but the author channeled Oren and was basically telling him how you raise your frequency. And the meditations in that book are just so good that I'm just like, some people say it's cured their depression and cured their anxiety, you know, help them a lot in their life. I'll show the picture in Discord, but if y'all can't get that book, I think I have that book next to my bed. Like, that book is just so powerful. It's very amazing. And the author and Oren are very great. So thank you so much, T, for letting me speak. And thank you so much, Marquis. Okay, kisses to everyone. Bye.
Okay, let me go ahead and bring on Little Nikki 1236. Little Nikki, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hello, can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. I tried to get on here before one time in the Zoom, but I couldn't get on because I was having some audio issues. So I'm happy that I'm able to get on today. What I wanted to add into the conversation real quick, because I know that you're on a time limit. You did the green room earlier today, so I know you're kind of tired. So what I did want to say was that I know everyone is scared and stuff, but honestly, Yahweh has us. Like, and I know it's hard to say like what the future will hold, but I just feel in my spirit, like, you know, God has been talking to each and every single one of us. We're all the body, we're all connected. Like, we all know there's like a shift going on right now, but I just want to say that, you know, he's telling us to all stay hopeful, stay focused on him, like stay focused on him, really, like worship, like, even though you're worshiping now, whatever you believe in spirituality, you know, hold on to that and like dive into it as much as you can right now, because that's what's going to keep us throughout whatever is to come, because I know this is only the beginning of it. It will get worse, it will get tougher, but I want y'all to know to stay strong and that God, he really does has his hands on us, and there's nothing to be afraid about, nothing to worry about. He gives us the spirit of peace, sound mind, all that. Like, don't worry about it, focus on him. And I wanted to add other stuff, but that's what I feel like I should leave off on. So thank you for having me up here.
Definitely. Thank you so much for calling in, sis.
No problem.
All right, let me go ahead and bring on Low-Key. Low-Key, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I know that we all will be well, but what I'm struggling with is helping my son. So this is his senior year in high school. He's like 4.0, a little bit above. He takes STEM engineering. He's been working hard all these years. I've never seen him more confused now. Before, he had all these plans. He wanted to go away to school, and now it's just, I don't know. I'm like, so, you know, what are you going to do with the scholarships? I don't know, Mom. I don't know. Because I've always taught him to follow the desires of his heart. No matter if I'm upset or if his dad is upset, follow your heart. But he doesn't know what direction he wants to go in. And that's bothering me.
Mm-hmm.
That's really, really bothering me to see a lot of this generational loss. So and his smile is even different. He's better now that school is open, and he's very active. He plays 3 sports, and he's doing enrollment now. But his plan was to go away. He wanted to, he said it's going to be 2 plane rides and a layover. I guess he don't want me to pop up on campus, but I'm gonna come anyway. But anyway, that's the main thing that bothers me. It's like, I've never been speechless, but when it comes to my child, I'm speechless. Yeah. But the college I do agree with the son. I have been feeling so much more rejuvenated after I go for my walks in the sun, or I'll walk in my backyard and I take my shoes off and walk and just think. The sun is different. When I come in, I have so much energy. So there's something going on with the sun.
Yeah, I will say about the a lot of them are encouraging, because it's almost like you don't want to set yourself up just to be. I think you have me on in the background for this echoing.
Wait a minute. You know what? Let me see something. What is? Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's what a lot of it is. Like they don't want to get themselves hyped up with certain goals just for it to be like it's shut down. It's like we're just living in a world right now where everything is there. I think a lot of teenagers are going with that, going through that, where they just don't know what their future is going to be. You have right now a lot of people not wanting to have kids because they don't know what the future is going to be. The birth rate has never been this low in America, and I really believe that is why.
It may be my Wi-Fi. I don't know. Let me see.
I'm gonna mute it real quick. But there's a I was reading and doing some research the other day, and this is the lowest that the birth rate has been in not only America, but around the world. And I believe that is the main reason why they are pushing that abortion law. And that abortion law is going to be pushed in more states. People can act liberal all they want to. But a lot of this goes back to genetics. And a lot of white people, like the white race, is dying off because of, interracial dating, interracial relationships and children. And a lot of, even though they try to say it's mainly minorities, you have a lot of white women, especially when they're young, they get into situations and their first thing is to go, not all, of course, but this is just from what I've researched, a lot of them tend to get abortions. So this is more or less trying to save a lot of white families. That's why they're really trying to push this. I'm not saying it's 100%, but if you do the research, I know Jane Elliott talked about this, the lady who started the blue eye, brown eye thing. If you go back and watch some of her old videos, because I've been researching that a lot lately, that is what they're saying, that they're using this to try and stop the population from killing themselves. Because if people are not reproducing,
can I have a regular cookies and cream?
Because if people are not reproducing, then there's not going to be any more future generations. There's not going to be, anybody to help man certain things. So I think I think the whole abortion thing goes way deeper than most people even understand. So I'm just tying that into what she's saying about her son, is that a lot of people they don't really see a future right now. So you have people either not wanting to bring kids into this world, finding themselves in situations where they're pregnant and they don't see a future, so they're going to go have abortions. So like the rabbit hole goes deep with that, and like I said, you can do your own research. Like I said, you can start by watching some of Jane Elliott's old videos on like Planned Parenthood and things like that, and how they were they kind of steered it towards the Black community as opposed to other races, because minority races like Black people, Latinos, Asians, they tend to be very, very fertile. It's a whole breakdown. You ain't got to believe me, but y'all can go and research it, but it goes very, very deep. And I believe that pushing this whole abortion situation.
But they come into our community to get the abortion. So if you go in the clinic, they're sitting in there. Their numbers are really high. I apologize. Hi, Marquis. This is my first time. I'm hanging up right now. I'm going back on mute. Thank you. But that was just it, because I know you have boys too, and your son is, graduating. So I just wanted to know what was your insight. I love communities like this because we can pull our brains together and help our children.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my youngest, he's going into 10th grade. So they're right now, honestly, in Minnesota, they're a bit more free. They're not mandating vaccines for the kids like they are in Cali, and they don't even have to wear a mask. It's optional. So it's very different up here compared to other cities where like in New York, all the kids have to wear a mask. Certain cities are pushing the vaccine. So it hasn't been pushed up here yet. So this school year for him is a lot better. Last year was very trying because I was their freshman year, and it's like they didn't have much of a freshman year, and they didn't even have all the kids at the school. They did an A-B. So he was like he went on certain days, and then the B group went on certain days. This year, they're all in the school. So it's going to be interesting to see how long that lasts. But as far as my oldest, he's in college, and he's working. But yeah, a lot of them, they just don't know what the future holds right now. So a lot of young people right now are holding off on trying to pursue certain careers, have families. They're holding off on a lot of stuff because it's not like when we were growing up, where it's almost like it was the norm. You know, you have kids, you have married, have your white picket fence. That's not their reality right now. So no, so your son is not alone. You know, just keep talking to him, letting him know that he has a place to come and talk to you and vent and get things off his chest, because a lot of these kids are going through so much, but they're not really talking about it because they're so addicted to social media and Snapchat, where you got to put on a brave face, because on those apps, you only show the best of yourself. You only show when you're feeling good and doing good in front end, but we're not really getting a real picture of what a lot of these kids are going through behind the scenes. So yeah, so thank you so much once again for calling. I'm gonna take one more call here. Tanya, just me, go ahead and unmute your microphone.
Hello?
Hello, hi.
Hi. Oh my gosh, I actually made it in. I am so shocked. This is like my third Zoom meeting, and I'm like, oh, I'd never get picked. I'm not gonna get picked, and then you picked me. That's great. So I just wanted to talk really quick. I like wrote down all my points. So I work in the school system, and so when we just heard about what's going to be implemented, I'm like, oh God, how's that going to affect us in the school system? Because before our unions and things were saying you can't force the people to get vaccinated. So then they said, okay, well, we're going to test you once a week and see if you have symptoms or not. And so my mother also works in a school, and we were talking because we're in 2 different states, and we were talking because she works in New York State, and out there they're also doing either vaccinated or tested weekly. And so one thing that her and my aunt were talking about, because my aunt's also a government worker, was testing weekly, and then also you wouldn't be getting paid for the 3 days, like because it takes to get your test results back. So you wouldn't be getting paid for those 3 days until they find out if you're positive or negative. And so then I remember when we were just watching the video, Biden was like, well, if you go get vaccinated, we're not gonna say that you can't get paid. But now I'm wondering how that's gonna affect the people who aren't getting vaccinated, but they're going for their weekly tests, and if they're going to be getting paid or not. So I'm curious about that.
Yeah, and I'm also hearing too, because I know they were implementing this at my brother's school, and that was another reason why he was kind of pressured into getting the vaccine, is that they told them flat out their insurance rates were going up. And if anybody knows about insurance, it's already high enough. So you're talking about an additional $50 to $100 per paycheck.
Yeah, and so that's another big thing. And people are just, like we said, getting it for their jobs. Like, I know people who have been going to, like we said, virtual school. I saw you posted something in the Discord earlier about needing to get vaccinated for virtual school, needing to get vaccinated to go get certain licenses and take different tests and things like that, which I'm just like, what does that have anything to do with what you're doing if you're in your house? But yeah, so I work in the school system, and I forgot who was just on, but they were talking about their son not really knowing what he wants to do. And one thing I've noticed, because I work in mental health with the kids, is that a lot of kids now are having anxiety and depression from the vaccine. And also just from knowing, like, I work with little kids. So I work with kids 12 and under right now, and they can't get the vaccine, but they're all freaking out like, oh my gosh, I'm so young, I'm gonna die from COVID because I can't get vaccinated. Because that keeps getting shoved in our throats of, you need to get vaccinated or you're gonna die. And so that's another thing I've been noticing, and just trying to talk to kids like, okay, no, we're in school, we wear our masks, we wash our hands, we try to social distance and stay safe, because that's all we really can do at this point if you're not gonna get vaccinated. But they can't get vaccinated because they're too young. So that's another thing I've been seeing.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot going on. But thank you so much for calling in. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
So we're gonna end. Kay wanted to end with the prayer before we leave, because it's already 8:30. So Kay, you can go ahead and unmute your microphone.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let me get up. All right, y'all. We're gonna end with prayer because I know we all need it. Whether you believe or not, just we got to do something here. So if everybody will bow their heads or lift their hands or whatever, we're gonna say a prayer. Okay, so here we go. Father, God, we come to you today, Father, and we just want to thank you for this meeting, Father, yeah. We just want to thank you for who you are and what you've done, Father. I understand that this is a time where we would turn away from you, Father, because we are so scared and we are so frightful about what these demons are doing, Father. But we just ask that you allow us to come to you, Father, and just lean on you, Father. Hallelujah. In the name of Yeshua, Father, we need you now more than ever, Father. We just pray for your grace and mercy, Father. We know you are graceful and we know you are merciful, Father. Anyone that is feeling guilt from taking this vaccine, Father, I just ask that you cover them with the blood of Yeshua, Father, and just protect them from anything that was unholy or anything that was crazy in that vaccine. We ask that you just protect them from it, Father, and just know that if it's not our time to go, Father, it's not our time to go, and it is nothing that these demons can do, Father, to take us out of here. Our life is in your hands, Father, and we just lean on you for everything, Father. Right now, I just bind and break the spirit of fear and anxiety and depression, Father. Just bind and break those spirits and send them back to where they came from, Father, because we know that you are not the author of confusion, and we know who that is coming from. You provide us with peace and a sound mind. For you are so graceful and you are so merciful, Father. We ask that you place your hands on T, Father, and just protect her health, Father. Protect her mind, Father, and allow her to make the best decision when it comes to her health, Father. You cover her with the blood of Yeshua, Father, because if it wasn't for her, none of us would be in this meeting right now, just being able to exchange positive energy, Father. So just place your hands on her, Father, because we need her, Father. She is your child. So just have grace and mercy on her health, Father. And I also pray for Sister Radiant Sunshine, whatever she is going through, Father, just provide her with the sound mind, Father. And as she grieves, Father, we just pray that you just place your hands on her, Father. Anybody else in this meeting that needs you, that is afraid of coming to you, that is confused of coming to you, Father, we just ask that you just open up our hearts to you, Father. In the name of Yahweh, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Wow. Thank you so much. Amen. And God bless. Thank you so much, Kay, for that. I didn't need that prayer, but I did. I really appreciate all of you guys just coming tonight and spending this past hour and a half and getting stuff off y'all's chest. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and end the meeting, but we can always move over to the Discord and continue the conversation. So thank you everybody who came tonight, and just, thank you guys for like the positive energy, because it's been a long day and it's been a lot going on for not just me, but for everyone. So everyone, please take care and God bless. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye,
Good night,
team.
T.
Bye.
Hi, good night.
God bless you, everybody.
Bye.